that it's bullshit. What type of privilege?
What do I know about privilege? I wish I had more.
Well, I didn't grow up, I grew up pretty poor, so, but we got by. And I say that, I tell people I grew up in a trailer park, when I first growing up, and people, they're like, haha, you grew up in a trailer park, and it was like, if anything, I learned growing even at a young age, who my friends were.
Privilege is when you don't need to think about things. In relation to the topic of race and ethnicity, it's when you can just be, live, and do things without thinking about it. I think that's privilege.
I think privilege is something that is self-imposed. I think privilege is something that is handed down through families, through power, people who think they have power or think that they are power.
I guess the phrase I'm most familiar with would be white privilege. And some people say it's a farce, but I think it's accurate.
But I know what it's like pretty much not to have a whole lot. Whereas now, I make decent money. Like we survive, and I'm definitely not poor, but I'm definitely far from rich. But now it's like if I see something I like, I can actually purchase it.
When we date, where we don't have to think much about who we date and what that means, I think that's privilege.
Privilege is something that you get, whether you deserve it or not, I guess.
We're all privileged to have and do whatever we want to do. This is America, we're free. So that's the privilege right there. To be privileged to own a Hummer or an SUV, that's not it, but that's the way people see it as.
And I talk about that sense of having ease in my house because one of my roommates is black and gay. I think that's the experience of most white people most days, that they can be in a community and not have to worry about being an outsider or being questioned of, like, why is he here? I wonder what he's doing. Like they get to maintain status wherever they are. Well, in most places. Actually, probably wherever they are, because I think if you're white and you're in a white community, you're an equal. I think if you're white in a black community or some other racial ethnic community, you still have a status that's different than others. And I think the perceived view is that they are sort of above others.
I really don't associate with that mindset, with that belief, so I really don't have too much to say about it.
I think it'd be similar to a man having a certain degree of privilege that assumed status and power if he was in a group of women, depending upon what the dynamics are. Either to be praised, valued, or vilified, whatever, but I think there's definitely a sense of status.
When you hold hand with another guy walking down Broadway, and that's a norm not only among the gay community, but how other people see gay relationship is a privilege.